When the aliens first invaded, they nearly destroyed us. They will be back. There's greatness in you, Ender. The world needs you. You were bred for this. You see things in a way we can't.
Once we get into our 30s and 40s, people become jaded. And I think we don't listen to young people enough. We think we're here to teach them, and we can't learn from them. And yet they are the people who are, during that period of their life, are most engaged in questions of what's right and what's wrong, and they feel passionately about it.
I think that a lot of the thematic considerations, a lot of the emotional issues that are part of the fabric of this film are the concerns of the family unit in opposition to the political unit. And so I think it's a great occasion to have a great spectacle to go look at, and if the questions are boiling to the top, there's somebody responsible there to answer them.
I have kids, and I get frustrated when the entertainment served up to them, it sort of just reinforces like revenge themes, and good guy gets, something goes wrong and he spends the rest of the movie taking revenge and then setting the world right. I mean, this is such a tired paradigm. So Ender's Game is tricky, and people will argue about it in different ways, and it was hard because it must be PG-13 and all of the, but I hope that within all that, people will have fun and also maybe just have a few things to talk about afterwards.
You alone can understand the enemy. You will be the one to save mankind.
Unless we act now, Earth will be annihilated.
We're out of time.
He's not ready.
You're never ready.
We watched the war on CNN, or we read about it in The Guardian. But are we experiencing it as a visceral experience? I was drafted at 17. I know what it's like to be in that conflict. I know how young people are seduced into war through advertising, through the notion that you'll be a hero, save your nation. What is this, a game? We've always, as adults, seduced young people into war by making it look more glamorous. We don't tell them, by the way, you might suffer post-traumatic stress disorder, could lose a leg or two, might lose a friend or two. You want to come?
You can't absorb these kind of losses. War isn't a game where you get to reboot and start over. That can't happen, understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you? Because I've trained others, each one ultimately a failure.
All right, Colonel. He understands.
Orson Scott Card, who's the writer of the novels, obviously aroused quite a lot of ill feeling for various things. I just wonder what your take on that. I mean, has it sort of been a long-running problem for you? Or
no, it's been a long run. I mean, it's a great question. I'm not going to sidestep it. It's well known that Orson Scott Card and I share different views on the issue of gay marriage, gay rights, and so on. I have long been a member of an organisation called the Courage Campaign. You'll find it online. I'm a huge fan of the work they did to defeat Prop 8. We just had an awards ceremony where we honoured those people who took it, and I'm very proud of that work. It's been a real dilemma for me in the simplest sense that I love the book Ender's Game. I think it is all about tolerance and compassion, understanding the other, literally. I mean, that's what the themes are. And so for me, when I first read that book, I was deeply moved by a story aimed at young people that I could share with my children, and access those kind of ideas in a way that was exciting for them, and yet allowed us to talk about themes of compassion, tolerance, diplomacy. At what point do you actually, preemptive war, drone warfare, the notion of the way games and reality are starting to merge in the modern world. All of these themes and things are important to me, and I love them from the book. And to answer your question, it's very difficult for me to say, how do I reconcile that with his clearly, contrary views to the ones I hold on the specific issue of gay rights.
This movie doesn't address any of those issues. It was written 28 years ago. It's very impressive act of imagination that he would predict the internet, that he would predict drone warfare, and those are the elements of the film that we're dealing with. There was nothing in this in the book addressing his current or some
preoccupations.
Yeah, his dispositions, his prejudices, his point of view. So we do not embrace that part of his issue. We care about the positive aspects of the story that we're telling.
I didn't want to lose my love of this book just because its creator seems to be in a different zone to me on this particular issue. And that's hard. And I'm going to say the last thing on that is that, we love the music of Richard Wagner, deep anti-Semite. I love Braveheart. I don't like what Mel Gibson's been saying about Jewish people. Art and their creators often diverge, and art is our expression of our higher selves. And we who make art don't always measure up to the art we create.